Welcome. Okay, in this video I'd like to talk to you about the concept of domain name misspellings. Now this may sound like sort of a mundane topic, but in fact it's important. And so first thing is, why reserve them at all? Well, the first thing that I've done is I noticed something very early on. This was back in the late 90s, that oftentimes when people go to type domain names directly into a browser window, they sometimes will mistake the spelling of the word. For example, well, there are a lot of examples, but again, people sometimes go directly to their browsers. And let me show you an example here. So, for example, if I go to type in, and instead of spelling my name correctly, Fred Gleek, as you see it there.com, I type GLEEK.com. Well, here's what would happen. In my case, I have reserved fredgleek.com and sent it the incorrect spelling and sent it to the correct spelling of fredgleek.com. And so let me review with you some reasons why that is, and you see that happening right now. Okay, so why reserve them? There are a number of different reasons. First off, it's low cost. For less than $10 per year. Again, that's $10 per year. You can now get everybody who misspells your name or some domain name that you have that it would have a logical misspelling, and you can have them get to the correct source. So people who are smart and are out there trying to what I call poach traffic, people can't poach your traffic. Let me define what poaching traffic means. What I mean by this is that someone who had, since I own fredgleek.com, and that's #1 for information marketing, if somebody had reserved fredgleek.com, they could have taken that domain name and sent it somewhere else where they sold something related to information marketing, thinking that people who would have been looking for me would probably be looking for something related to information marketing. So they're poaching my traffic. They're actually taking some of my traffic that is legitimately mine, but just because someone misspelled it, they're going somewhere else and they're buying something else. So what I ask you to do here is, it's low cost, it's less than $10 a year to reserve it, and of course you reserve it with ultra cheap domains, but then people can't poach your traffic. So let's do the math here. So like I said, for let's $10 per year, let's just say that you are selling on average products that go for around $100, right? So how many orders does it take from someone doing a misspelling to eventually order something of yours to figure out? Well, you can see right there that one person ordering once every 10 years your product for $100 will justify these numbers right here. But if you really want to get sophisticated, and I've done this myself, and I think you might have seen it when I showed you my site redirection here, and I'll do it again just to show you. If you go to fredgleek.com, watch carefully what the browser, this area right here, does when I click enter. Okay, watch carefully. It goes through what's called an ad tracker, and that is set up through Web Marketing Magic. And that ad tracker, if you saw those changes there, allow you to sort of know how many people are, #1, going to that incorrectly named domain name and then on to yours, and also it tells you how many people actually bought. So you can set this up very methodically to determine whether or not it's worth doing. Now, I've done with a site called speaking.com, because people oftentimes misspell the word speaking, S-P-E-A-K-I-N-G. They misspell it S-P-E-K-I-N-G.com. So let me show you what I've done there. In that case, with speaking.com, K-I-N-G.com, watch what happens. It redirects to a site that I have called speakingformillions.com, which is, again, for professional speakers. So now here's an example of me poaching traffic from someone doing the opposite of what I'm describing you do. So I'm poaching traffic from the person who owns speaking.com and sending it to a site for professional speakers. The presumption there being that people oftentimes may misspell the word speaking and spell it with 2 E's instead of an E and an A. So there's 2 ideas, and so I suggest that you should reserve misspellings, common misspellings around your name and around other websites that you have where people may make mistakes, because in the end, this just makes financial sense. So again, go to ultra cheap domains, of course, because I get about $0.25 per name if you reserve them there, and reserve any misspellings of any domain names that you have that would be common for people to do, just so that you can get that traffic rather than giving it to someone else. So there you have it.